Cordial greetings. My name is Juan Gabriel Holguín Cardona. I am a student of the new Granada Military University Public Accounting Program. And this time I will expose the topic related to financial derivatives as part of the proposed activity in the professional ethics subject. The first is to understand derivatives as a legal financial instrument which changes is vary according to the underlying variables related to assets, natural and non-natural events or the price level. Within the types of derivatives, we find the futures, agreements to buy or sell an amount of an asset at a rate and price established in a certain period of time. It can only be traded on the stock exchange. Forwards, agreements to buy or sell an amount of an asset at a rate and price established in a certain period of time. It can be negotiated between two people. Option, in which the right is transmitted, not the obligation to buy or sell an asset in the future. And swaps, agreements to exchange cash flows at time intervals during a given period. They are used to mitigate the risk related to exchange in the interest rate, term, currency, or credit. Once the concept of financial derivatives is understood, we can identify the ethical risks associated with the implementation of this investment model. The main purpose of the use of derivatives is the mitigation of risks, giving this as a legal tool of financial markets in order to ensure a purchase or sale value of an asset at a certain price in a period of time established by the intervening parties. Some of the ethical risks associated with the use of derivatives are related to fraud used as a bad practice to hide millionaire losses from financial statements. In this way and through deceptive maneuvers, they manage to hide and or make up the figures that are reflected in the income statement, the fundamental basis for measuring management, and the inadequate use of financial derivatives leads to ethical problems related to fraud with risk management controls and the regulation of uncertainty. The difference between taking a bad science decision related to derivatives and participation in unethical behavior since derivatives, we can understand that the former is related to the actions that lead to a negative result when investing in resources in high risk derivatives without taking into account the risk factors. And the second is to carry out bad business practice to hide information related to the millionary losses resulting from the change in the value of the underlying variables. The Barring Bank, UBS, Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers made business decisions that led to financial disasters such as invest in credit default swaps, high risk investments, dependence of subprime mortgages, hide information to investors, deficient risk management controls, and a poor internal control system. The establishment of ethical policies and adequate internal control system that includes the place of planning, evaluation and monitoring allows to exercise effective controls over management decisions in order to detect future errors due to the uncertainty inherent in the different investments financial. A strict control and a prior knowledge of the activities developed by the member of the financial corporation helps to avoid that the means of decepts many most important information for the shareholders and investors in the same is hidden. As a conclusion, we can appreciate that at present the existence of financial derivatives as a legal investment instrument has allowed financial corporations, insurance companies, and even different governments of the world to establish purchase of sale agreements for financial assets or not financial instruments at a set price within a certain period of time, warranting future returns that can be affected by the values of the underlying variations. And a query used for this type of is meant shall be made given the high levels of rise depending of the fluctuating change in price, values of the assets, and even in the face of the occurrence of natural and non-natural events of global connotation. This is where it is necessary to exhaustive assess the risk levels in order not to engage investors' capital or incur multi-million dollars losses as a result of bad decisions put into practice. This is the bibliography reference. Thank you very much.